BOBOVR's next accessory here for the Quest 3, sort of. This is so early that I'm getting this that I don't even have much information on it, so let's just open it up. Shout out EagleDoc2 for the birthday present. Our newest small sharp unboxing knife. Isn't it beautiful? This is a package I could easily damage too, I think, so I should probably be a little more careful. They're using stronger and stronger packaging, I swear. What are you doing? What? All right, so I say Quest 3 tentatively because this is their new PD100 charging dock, and I did request several because if you remember the original BOBOVR batteries, one of the uses I always told you about was they also doubled as a battery bank. You could just plug a USB-C in the top, you could charge your phone, your tablet, whatever. They all worked as that, and so whenever I'd go on a trip, I'd just like grab all my battery packs I had around, throw them in my bag so I'd have extra batteries too. Well, in making the new generation, they needed to save weight on this battery. So several things they did to do that was they moved some of the components into the actual head strap. They took some of the components out, and one of those things that it no longer had was the ability to output charging up here. This was only to charge the battery. So this PD100 charging combo not only converts it basically into a little portable battery bank, but it's so fast charging powerful, it's supposed to even be able to hold together something power hungry like your MacBook. They've sent me 4 kits, but 3 are just extras. 1 is the main one that also comes with another new battery. Even smaller sharp unboxing knife again for this one, just because there's a bunch of these and we want to be extra safe. I say extra safe as I'm just bringing this blade so close to my hand. Now, if you've bought one, you're gonna buy one, you're thinking about buying one, this is probably the one you're gonna get, the full pack. It comes basically already magneted together, a B100 battery. What we're used to, that is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery pack, and this new dock that apparently has some kind of screen on it. And it does include an extra USB-C technically to charge this. Not something that we really need at this point. Typical BOBOVR build quality, it feels solid, it feels nice. Oh, interesting little detail. You probably shouldn't like carry it around like this, but they did make this USB-C plug in the bottom here so you can kind of hide it away. Probably not meant to be a carrying cable, but it could be. Why are you being so noisy? You wanna come up here? All right. So when you plug it in, we can see right now we got 100% battery on this one. So a screen readout, tell you what your battery's at, your USB-C to plug it in, a button to bring it back up, and a full USB port on this side, I'm guessing, so that you can charge other things with it, really turning this into just a 10,000 milliamp hour portable battery bank. So I could plug in my phone. It says it's turbo power, it means it's at least fast charging that. Another cool feature that we've noticed with this is it has reverse charging built into it. That means that this actually becomes a charging dock for the battery itself. You can plug this into the wall. If you're someone who doesn't already have their 3 battery charging dock, but you had 1 or 2 Bobo batteries, you'd be able to plug them into this, charge them up in an hour and a half even from dead. And in theory, you would never run out of battery as long as one of these is on this dock, because the battery on the back of your head usually lasts at least 2 to 3 hours. Let's take a gander at this. This is actually Editor John's MacBook. I am not well versed in the Mac universe. So right now, before I plug this in, Apple says battery's at 80%. It's juicing it so hard, claims that it's not charging the internal battery, it's acting like this is a power adapter. So it should, in theory, only drain this battery and shouldn't affect the battery inside. So I'm curious, we'll do some time tests. Obviously, we're gonna have to play around with this a lot and learn, but I'm curious, how long does 10,000 milliamp hours last with a normal MacBook like this, especially while doing functions and being used? But it's as simple as that. I mean, as long as you have a little bit of battery power here, you could essentially hot swap just like always and just keep switching out your battery packs and completely run your MacBook without using its internal battery whatsoever. Huh, Willow, that's interesting. And like I asked, they sent me a bunch more. So this does have full retail packaging, so it looks like you're gonna have the option of buying one with a battery or one without. So this one, when you unbox it, pretty straightforward, it's just gonna be this. No battery, also no extra USB-C cable, nice BOBOVR look. Now I know MacBooks are gonna run a lot of power. I can tell you so far, it's been a few minutes, we're down 2%. It's interesting to me that it doesn't charge it. I guess maybe the power demand is great enough that it's not going to charge unless I closed it. So we'll see. So it's at 98%. We'll see if that keeps draining even with this closed. And then when we open it, we'll see if it's come back up from 80 at all. All right, let's find out some specs. 5 volt, 9 volt, 12 volt, 20 volt, 15 volt, variable charging for sure. You want to corner this? Okay, So this one that comes with the battery is the PD100 combo, or you can just get the PD100 charging dock. So the USB-C goes all the way up to 20 volts, and then if you run it through USB-A, so if you put your own in there, if you charge some micro USB or something else, then you're looking at running at 12 volts. We've managed to drain 2% more out of this into the Mac. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer because I feel like that might not even be 1%. Apple is so into keeping things simple. Just says MacBook Pro on the bottom. That's all it tells you. We're down to 95%. We're gonna leave that alone for a while and see if that charges up. If you did happen, for some reason, to have a head strap that does not have a battery dock, you had this, some weird circumstance, I don't know what, could you in a pinch make this into your Quest charger? I mean, you have to attach this thing. It's not really made for that. There's not any sort of attachment points, but I mean, you could put some double stick tape and stick this onto something. It does make me miss that in the early days, they made a universal adapter for their batteries. So even if you had a Kiwi strap or the stock strap, you could get that. I used it on many things. My Quest Pro, when it first came out and there wasn't battery adapters yet, I used it for that. I wouldn't have minded seeing them add a spot for a strap to be able to connect this to things, because this thing is really smooth. It feels really nice, but it's not gonna be easy to attach anything. It does have knobs on the back here. It would lay just like the one I have, but it makes sense this way because you can see the actual digital screen and readout. Such a big screen for just showing the percentage right there. Well, we've got testing to do. We've got learnings to find. I gotta leave this thing plugged in and see if it actually charges this up at all. So we're gonna take this away for some time. We're gonna do some testing. We're gonna get the details about it because, like I said, it's so early. They didn't even have like the marketing materials or stuff ready to tell me all of the info about it from them. So we're early, but we're gonna play around with it and we're gonna get back at you with our thoughts on this, what all it can work on for you, and if it's something that makes sense at all to have, or if it just really unlocks the ability to take a battery pack with you anywhere, replace your battery bank, and in that case, maybe it's worth it just for that. Don't do this. I don't think you're supposed to do this. All right, we will report back. Months later of testing, and it's finally launch day. We got these so early, but today you can go order these. $20 for just the dock itself if you've already got enough Bobo batteries. That is an early bird sale price. It will go up $10 eventually. $50 if you want the dock plus the battery, which puts it still the same price. The batteries typically cost you about $30. Again, prices will go up, so if you want these now, get them ordered. Link is in the description in the comments. Let's talk about final thoughts on them. The biggest con that we've got to talk about is with the old Bobo batteries, you basically had the same function without getting anything extra. The batteries charged anything up out of the USB-C. They had to take that out to save weight on these. They did a lot, as you can see, when we talked about the old batteries versus these ones, to keep them pretty close to the same size. Obviously more weight because they're at 10,000 or double the battery capacity, but the fact that they're even close in weight is impressive, but they did take some out. Now you get those features back through a $20 dock. But what they did new is now this thing charges at an output of 30 watts if you want it to, through the USB that's included. It also has that USB-A we talked about, so you can charge pretty much anything with it as long as you have a USB. But if you're coming at this from a Quest only angle, what good is this? Well, if you were someone who's bought your BOBOVR S3 Pro, you only have one battery. If you were to buy the combo set, this now can become your battery dock all the time. So basically you could have your place you set your Quest at night, this could be set up next to it, and you would always have a battery charging if this is plugged into the wall, ready to go. Basically, as long as you have one battery on a fast charger, which this is, this battery lasts you 2 to 3 hours. This one will be charged in an hour and a half, so you can swap it and your headset would never die. You could, in theory, swap them out forever. So it unlocks the unlimited battery time. From a Quest perspective, if you had a different head strap that you really like, you could, in theory, add this to one if you got some really strong double stick tape or Velcro tape, but it's not an easy solution. The cord isn't super long, so you wouldn't be able to like put this on the back of some other strap and run it. You'd have to be kind of off to the side here. The way the battery hangs on, it is strong. It does hold on really well, but it would probably mount up like this, where you kind of, in theory, want it to mount like this, just so some of that weight lands on the dock instead of hanging off of it. But it is really hard to get it to fall off. I'll give them that. It's not its intended purpose. It is another purpose if you did want to try and adapt this to work with any head strap. One other thing that I do wish they did is I wish they included one of those Bobo famous sticky pads that used to come with everything. I know it's supposed to travel well, it's supposed to be portable, so they didn't want you to like stick it down in one spot and have it live there forever. But as a dock, it would kind of make sense to stick this thing in place somewhere so that it would be a little easier to grab the battery, put it on and off. Because basically right now, if you have this plugged into the wall, you're gonna kind of lift this up, grab your battery, drop it back down. That's definitely a nitpick at that point, but it's just something that I noticed as I was using it. I thought about more and more. Putting something on there and sticking it down to the counter. You really want my attention, I know I'm almost done. So pretty much that's all of the thoughts I could come up with from a Quest perspective of what you can do with it. But beyond Quest, what does this unlock for you? I've traveled, we went on a couple trips, and having these things handy, it just makes traveling a little easier. What in the world is this cat doing? It meant that if I was staying in an Airbnb, which typically I like to, because if we bring editor John or new guy Quinn, it's nicer than all of us trying to cram into one little hotel room. But sometimes in Airbnbs, you know, they don't always make it super convenient to plug stuff in. You're like moving a couch, you got defined outlets. So having these around, I plugged my phone in with these and I didn't bother even finding outlets to plug stuff in. So the portability of them, the being able to bring like 4 battery packs and 1 charger, just swap them out, that was super handy and helpful. There was also times where like we got to the show and something needed charge. We had a couple of these in the camera bag. That was really awesome. A neat use though is even the MacBook that John has, the MacBook Pro, 1 battery would boost you about 20% on that thing. It did of course depend on if you were low on battery, it was a little more like 25, if you were higher on battery, and if you were using it, it would just hold the battery for a while. But the idea that you can have these around to charge a laptop, a Surface, anything that uses USB-C charging and get 20% or more out of a single Bobo is pretty wild. You could have your 3 dock and you could be taking them one at a time and charging everything up with them. It seems like kind of a weird point at that point, like why don't you just plug it into a wall? Well, if you're at a cafe or something, or you know, if you're in the airport, all the outlets are taken everywhere you go. Like everybody's using all of them all over the place. So having these and extra batteries, it just makes for a portable battery bank. And if you're not someone who has one of those that you already use, you basically could easily have one now for 20 bucks. And they do have all of the standard safeties built in. They've got auto sleep functions, they've got overcharge protection, all those things. So it does make you just feel a little more safe using something. For me personally, I don't love buying off-brand battery docks and kind of always wondering if they're gonna catch fire or something. Knowing that BOBOVR has been doing this a long time, very trusted brand, I like having something like this that I feel is like safer, just not gonna be an issue. But what more can I say? At the end of the day, it really just turns your BOBOVR battery into a dock with multiple outputs and even another USB-C. So for some reason, let's say you have a device that's USB-C to Lightning or something, this wouldn't really help you. There is one more little USB-C in the side. And to be honest, we didn't catch it for quite a while that there's 3, because they talked about 3 inputs and I was like 1, 2, 3? Sort of actually gives you 4 with that extra one there, and I guess 3 outputs, 4 inputs. So I like them. I would definitely recommend if you already have the batteries or if you want to make one into a dock, I'd recommend it will enhance your S3 Pro experience further, but it's not a necessity. You know, this head strap in my mind is a necessity. Grips for your controllers are a necessity. A better facial interface is a necessity. Do you need one of these for a Quest? No. But will it be a luxury that you'll use in other parts of your life and probably find a lot more use for your batteries? Definitely. But what do you think? I'd love to know down in the comments below. Do you have the whole BOBOVR setup like I'm rocking here? Are there other brands you're liking? I've ordered some other ones that all of you have been asking about out there, so watch for more reviews of some other of the top products coming for you. If you do decide to get these, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found another use or something I didn't, drop it in the comments so other people can see and read that too, help them out. But thank you once again for coming here, being with me day after day, all these videos. I really appreciate you. I'll see you in another reality.